people tend to think of YouTube as a platform for kids. It seems like it's gaining more traction these days. It's been around for so many years that people are accepting it more as a launching pad. But I think it's still underrated for a lot of filmmakers. They tend to go more with Vimeo or different things. And what would you tell other people who say, YouTube is just sort of a kid's platform, or it hasn't really evolved yet? Or maybe you...
Watch our film. I mean, this is a Cinderella story with a very, very particular twist. It's a modern Cinderella story. Like I said, this story would not have been possible pre-YouTube. How could it be, right? He got discovered because of this thing called YouTube. And Neil was actually had it with auditions, and he couldn't find anyone, and he turned to YouTube. That's a fact. That's what happened. So no, though, you can't dismiss YouTube. It's there. It's big. I mean, this story is based on that. It couldn't have happened without it.
And for all of the positives with YouTube, there's still that negative part where trolls of all sorts can get on and say whatever. How much of whatever backlash is left, because I think Arnel's definitely proven himself to be excellent, but how much backlash do you think comes from people wishing that they had been discovered? So I wonder if that's a huge component of it.
The backlash that he still gets?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of very hardcore Steve Perry fans. I think the thing about Journey's, their fans are so hardcore. I mean, they really, really follow the band, and they're very attached to them. It's a very personal thing, and personal to Steve Perry as well. So I think the backlash comes from that. And yeah, I think a little bit of snark that, why not me, why him? And why did they have to import him from a different country? I mean, there are so many people, here who could sing as well or whatever. I think, yeah. But, you have to realize it's the internet, right? It's the world. There's so much, the good and the bad, and a lot of bad, a lot of snark, and you can't really... And Arnel says this, you can't get into it. You can't drown, or not you'll drown, right? You can't listen to all the voices out there on the internet. There's so many people who will always say, not very positive things.
Right, and I thought you did an excellent job of showing him just a few brief moments where he just slowly sort of admitted there are people that maybe don't want me to succeed, but there are so many more that do.
Yes.
And that fueled him. And even though in those moments where he said, I want to go home, he still made it out there and performed beautifully. So.
Yeah, but I do understand his impulse to say, I just want to go home, because when you see those people, and at the end, like, you're performing for 2 hours, you're giving it your all, it's tiring. It's at the end of, you can see him, it's like he's drained. I think he's enervated, but, he's energized, but enervated at the same time, so it's just two things that are sort of clashing within him. And yet the next day he has to do it again. So I understand the impulse, like, just let me go home. I love it, but can I just go home for a while, I think. And that's why they built, in the tours now, they build, like, little breaks for him to go home. He actually goes back to Manila and takes the rest, which I think is great, and it's good for everyone. Yeah.